Okay, so I've gone from being an extrovert with a capital E in the introverted direction, like quite quickly, quite significantly. And I'm wondering whether this is part of like growing up, like adulting, like being old, whether it's just a massive personality shift, which is normal and happens, or whether this has always been my personality and I've just never noticed before. So I'm just wondering if anybody else can relate. So, up until recently, I just loved meeting people, like anyone, like anybody who have me, I'll have a conversation with. I remember like, as a student, I was involved in like a million things, like Christian Union, involved in the hockey club, international students, volunteering here, volunteering there, got a job here, and just loved it. Like literally any excuse to sign up for something, I was like on it. And I used to be like, hey, we should meet up for coffee, like all the time to like everyone. And I did actually like mean it. I wasn't just saying it. It's like, you get a coffee, you get a coffee, everybody gets a coffee. And now I'm just like, I actually can't deal. I get to a point where I always used to like leave social functions early because I've always loved my sleep. So I would always like leave and we'd be out on a night out and I would leave at like 11:30 because anything beyond midnight is like past my bedtime. So that's never changed. But now I want to leave social functions early because I've reached my, what I call pippling limit. Like I've got a pippling limit and I start to reach that and I'm like spacing out and I've got a limit on the amount of conversation that I can have. And when I've got a bit of free time, rather than being like, who can I make for coffee? I'm like, I want to sit alone at home and eat food and just sit alone. Like watch whatever. I don't even care. I just recharge. I'm starting to be recharged by just like chilling on my own, like football on or like tennis, just whatever I can find. And this has only happened really in like the last year or so. And so I've been really thinking about it and I'm like, is this just a personality shift? Because you change as you grow older. And I've noticed myself changing from like 21-year-old Inonge and 28-year-old Inonge, not the same person, like similarities, but I've changed quite significantly. But this change is quite dramatic in terms of how I relate to people. I still love having conversations with people, but only in moderation now, which I'm struggling with because I'm not used to that. I'm used to just being like, how many people can I meet for coffee? And now I'm like, I will only say to people I want to meet up with you for coffee if I actually want to do it, which is increasingly less and less. And then I do wonder whether it's also, when I was growing up, I was actually quite shy and quiet. And then when I moved to Scotland, that just would not suffice. Like I had to survive socially. And in order to do that, I had to like speak to people first. Otherwise, they wouldn't speak to me. So I was wondering whether I've always been like semi like introverted and I've just never noticed because I've always been in a context where I haven't had the opportunity to like have that choice. And now that I'm working full time, I'm like, do you know what? People are great, but only in moderation. Could be that. And another thing I was wondering is whether other millennials are experiencing this in that you're just growing older, you've got more responsibilities, you've got a limited amount of time, and so you've got a limited amount of space emotionally, even mentally, to deal with like more conversation. So this is a strange video in that like usually when I'm doing videos, I'm like I'm imparting information, communication, something hopefully helpful. This is different in that I'm just sharing this and wondering if anybody else is experiencing this. I've spoken to a few people and we all seem to be in agreement that this is happening and they all seem to be millennials. So are we just growing up and realizing that, not that people are overrated, still love people, but realizing that being alone is great? Or is this just an adjustment in personality that usually happens around about now, your late 20s? And if you are experiencing that, how are you dealing with that? How are you coping with that? I'm probably going to do a video in the future when I've worked out how to cope with this change. Because right now I'm just like, trying to work out how many social functions I can go to and how to not go to social functions without just saying, I'm free, I just don't want to come. Oh, yeah. So let me know if you're going through this, or is it just me? Is it just me? Do I need help? Maybe I need help. Let me know if you're going through that. Let me know how you're dealing with that. That's it, you guys. That's all I had. Just that thought. Adulting. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye.